Hi there, this is Wendy coming to you with another project share, this time for a group on Facebook that I belong to called Trashy Junk Journals. And the major premise of the group is that you don't use a lot of store-bought materials, that instead you use things that you're recycling or perhaps that you've made or fashioned out of thrifted materials. So this particular swap was for, the group has kind of come up with this premise of a flowish journal. And really it's a take on the really beautiful magazine that you can find at places like Barnes and Noble with the Flow magazine. And Flow magazine, particularly the one that is made for paper lovers, has things that are meant to be taken out and used by the reader. It's not really a read articles kind of magazine. Really, the purpose is to rip out tags or stickers or pieces of paper, calendars, tags, anything really that's paper related that would be of use for somebody else's project, whatever they want to use it for. And so I arranged this swap. I missed out on the group swap, but I happened to talk to one of the members who I think has created many Flowish journals and had watched tons of her videos. And she agreed to swap with me, which I think is really sweet. So I put together it got really fat. And you can't tell, but this is going to have to go on one of those larger cardboard priority mailers. It's probably, gosh, I don't know, 14, maybe 14 by, gosh, I don't know, 24, I guess is what the cover would be. And so I made this out of a canvas that I had collaged on, and I actually just cut it off of the canvas and then sewed on it. And I sewed this little strip that I had taken off of it to kind of reinforce it. And originally I was going to do some sort of closure where I would do a button here or Velcro or something of that sort, but my machine would not handle the canvas very well. So I sewed it on, and I think you could probably just use that little clip, that little bulldog clip, and that's kind of the way that I think it can stay closed. It's held together by this wire ribbon, and of course the purpose isn't to have a super permanent binding, just enough to keep the pages in so that the person can look through, and if they want to use a piece of paper, they can take that piece of paper out. So I'm going to do a little flip through. I have calendar pages. I have a collage that I have done. I attached, all these things can come out. These are little ATC size pieces that I've created. The front to a coloring book. A lot of these can just be taken out. So if I found a blank side, I would just attach another piece of paper. Several different sheets of tissue paper. And these are folded in half, and so they're a pretty large size. A collaged piece, some wallpaper. These are from Time Life photography series, which are probably my favorite things to find in the thrift store. They just have really cool pictures. A doodling book. Here's that Time Life photography book again. Several of those. A kid's vintage book. I'm going to kind of just flip through fairly quickly. Coloring page. This was an old vintage paint sample book, and it kind of comes up accordion style. In this envelope I have a bunch of napkins. We have a book cover, some postcards I made that are Alice in Wonderland. This is a flight map, which is pretty cool. I have a giant book of these, and they're for pilots. Little pocket here that again she can take off and use elsewhere. And so yeah, just here's some postcards for art openings. Here's a little drawing that my husband had done. Here's another book cover. I have some little journal cards in here. Music sheets. This is a little plastic piece. An order form. Paper towel. This is a paint card. This is the front of a Portraits in Oil giant book. So you can kind of just see that a lot of this is stuff that my partner can just take out if she wants. I have a card, some jelly printing experiments, jelly printing on deli paper. This is spray ink. This was experimenting with enamel paint. A found poem, a really weird ad, just all kinds of things. Envelopes, the front of a card that I started and didn't like. Jelly prints. This is from an old high school or college annual. More jelly prints. More jelly prints. This is from a cruise journal, yacht cruise journal, which of course I probably will never go on a yacht cruise, but I thought that was interesting. Some old drawings. Some more tissue paper. Just lots of little things that I thought were interesting. Some ATC copies that I had made. Another ATC copy. Playing card, tiny little pocket. And then you get the opposite page, of course. And the idea, again, is basically that the person can pick and choose. They can rip things out. They can take off this binding and take out an entire sheet. But it's like a bound supply. And in this case, of reused materials, things that you aren't going to buy at Michael's or Joann's. And I really like this, and I think it's a cool project, and certainly one of those things that helps people get more stuff for their stashes. So rather than them having to go through the task of kind of collecting from all these different sources, you get people who have different interests, and they're going to collect different things. And really the idea is that if they like it and they collect it, somebody else is going to like it too. And so I'm going to get this put in that priority box and sent off, and hopefully my partner will like it. Thanks for letting me share, you guys. I'm interested in your comments. If you haven't seen this before, you might, type Flowish Journal into the YouTube search box and watch the numerous videos there. It's kind of mesmerizing, I think, to watch people flip through these. And yeah, check out the Facebook group. And if this is up your alley, then wait for the next swap. I think they've been doing them once per month. So thanks for letting me share. Hopefully you guys are having a great day. It's really sunny here, which is definitely helpful. All right, take care, and I'll post another video soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.